Becky is going to present our topic today, getting an expense report from IRS using the document number from Concur. This is important. I think we have a lot of questions about this, which is why Becky is bringing this back up again. It'll be a fairly short topic, and then we'll move to questions.
Thank you, Samantha. So hang on just a moment, let me escape out of here. So yeah, we covered this topic early on in Coffee and Concur, and it was back before we actually had like a set agenda and topics. And it does come up quite often that people are like, well, how do I get to that report that's in IRS that looks like we used to see? And so I want to show you really quickly how to do that. If you open up Concur and you find the profile of the person that you're wanting the expense report for, you're going to go to their expenses, their expense reports. And if it's already been paid, it won't automatically show up here. You may have to change this, and I'm going to say last 90 days and pull up the one that I want to see. And I see here it's payment confirmed. So I know it'll have a document number that I can pull up in Concur. So I'm going to open this expense report. And we'll go to report details. And we're going to click on audit trail. And at the top, there's a document number right here. So I'm just going to copy that. And
Becky, I'm gonna jump in right there. You can use Control C. If you don't know that already, that's a shortcut, Control C. And then Becky, you'll tell them the rest of that when you get to that, right?
Yeah. So, and I'm on a Mac, so I use Command C. So it's Control C on a PC, Command C on a Mac. And then I'm gonna stop sharing for just a second to get the other screen for Iris. Okay, so we're in Iris, and the transaction we want to use for this is FBO3. So if I type in FBO3 here, FB03, sorry, not O, it'll come up with this little window, and we'll put the document number there. So I'm going to Control V or Command V to get that document number from Concur. And I want to make sure I'm in the right year here because it's obviously on a really old year. I haven't updated that yet. Okay, so we've got a document number, we've got the fiscal year, you just hit enter. Okay, hang on just a second, make sure. It's 22, sorry. We're in 22 right now, right? Yeah, sorry about that. Okay, so once you're in here, on a PC, this symbol right here will probably be on the left side of the screen rather than the right. On a Mac, it's on the right, so that is a difference. But you'll click on this little symbol here, and you're going to go to attachment list. And in here, you'll see the travel expense report PDF. So you can double click that. And let me make sure you guys are seeing the right screen because it's popped up on my other screen.
Morning.
Okay. And so here is a PDF like we're used to seeing from IRS for travel. And it has all of the information here that is about the trip. It's got the account number that the person is assigned to. It's got the breakdown of the meals on here. It's got the lodging broken down by days, by tax and rate. And then it's got some non-reimbursable or personal expenses down here where they charge their meals on the travel card. We just gave them per diem. And then it's got your total costs, total due to the employee, and then total cost of the trip at the bottom there. So it's very much like we're used to seeing in IRS. But I do want to point out that the same information can be had in Concur. It just looks a little different. So I wanted to show you that just to give you the full view of everything that you can do here. Let's see. We can go to print share back on this expense report. UT detailed report with summary data. And this has the same information as the other report. It just looks a little different. The columns aren't there. You know, the nice little Excel looking table isn't there. But the information is still here. So we've got the account that the person is assigned to, like we had before. Of course, we have the person's name and personnel number up here at the top. And we have the breakdown of the lodging and lodging tax. It does not give the amounts on here, and it might be that it just cut it off on the screen. But but it does give the breakdowns there. It does show the non-reimbursable personal expenses. And this one actually gives you a little more detail about where those expenses were. And then at the bottom, it's a little different. It has the breakdown of what's being charged to what account. So if you did allocate expenses, it would show your allocations here. This is all being charged to the same account. So it looks the same, but it would show your allocations there if there were more than one account. And again, it shows you the total cost of the trip, report total, as it said here, and then the amount due user is here as well. So it's nice to have that PDF from Iris. You can get the same information from Concur. Just it's whatever your preference is. Yeah, and we had a couple questions in chat. I think Samantha addressed it, but it says for those of us who only use Concur for travel, not Iris, is there a reason we would ever want to pull the report from Iris? It's a preference. I mean, Samantha did say that, you know, possibly for grant account documentation, you could use the same thing from Concur for that too, honestly. It's just a preference. Since people did use Iris for so long, we've had it in place for 20 some odd years, I think, since I've been in AUT actually. So people are just comfortable what they're used to. And so that's why systems created that report so that it looked, you know, familiar to people. But if you learn to read the one from Concur, you can easily use that, and it'll save you a little time and extra steps in finding the information that you need.